So, what kind of services do the students get at the East Seal School?
We provide a wide variety of services, both academic and clinical services. We have currently approximately 20 classrooms, all with certified teachers and paraprofessional support staff. But in addition to our academic services, we also provide a variety of clinical services. We have speech pathologists on staff, occupational therapists, a nurse, social workers. We currently have 3 board certified behavior analysts, an art therapist, and then we have vocational coordinators to provide our vocational services.
So it's not just a school. It seems like it's a school plus a lot more extra services, the vocational, the speech pathology, and all the other classes.
Yes,
So
yes,
a
you're correct.
school like Easter Seals is the least restrictive environment. Could you explain what that means?
Yes. We are considered highly restrictive because we're not in the mainstream. We're not in, for example, a public school as just a classroom. We are a separate facility. One of our goals is to actually provide our students with interactions and opportunities to interact with students who are typically developing or without disabilities. So because we're our own, if you will, separate entity, we have so many of our therapeutic services also offered throughout the day. We're considered to be highly restrictive.
Okay. So what I got out of that is that the student has to be in the most mainstream or the most least restricted
Right.
environment, and so the IEP has to say that this is
Correct.
the best point for them.
Our overall goal is always to try to help the student get back to a less restrictive environment.
Okay.
Now that could look different for all the students. It could be going back to their home school. It could be going back to perhaps a special needs program within their public school setting. There's a reintegration back into a less restrictive environment is always the ultimate goal for our students.
Mm-hmm.
Does it happen on occasion? Does it happen with all our students? No. Many of our students spend their educational career with us, but our goal is to always look at the possibilities of getting them back into a less restrictive environment.
So I want to go back to the kind of the school and the structure of the school and stuff like that and talk about that for a second.
Okay.
So how many classrooms do you have at the school?
Currently, we have 20 classrooms.
Okay. Now, those classrooms, how many students are in each classroom? I know it might vary, but roughly.
It does. It really varies. We have some classrooms that perhaps have 7 to 8 students, a teacher and a parapro, and
Okay.
a paraprofessional support staff, I should say, in the classroom. And we have other classrooms that maybe the needs are greater that the students have, so we could have a ratio of 5 students to 4 staff. Every classroom is individualized. We do not have a cookie cutter classroom in our building, but we really focus on the needs of the students and the support that is needed to provide them with their education.
And that actually sounds better than having this is 4 kids and 1 teacher. So now, tell me what the structure is in terms of grade. I mean, are there grades there, or are there levels, or how does that work?
Well, first of all, when we look at our students, we try to group them. There's age requirements that we have to adhere to. In our grammar school age students, for our grammar school age students, I should say, we have to have we have to remain within a 4-year age span. For our high school students, there's a 6-year age span. So each classroom, at least, we have to adhere to those standards.
Okay.
But we also try to group the students together in terms of the types of goals that they have. We probably would not put a very high-functioning verbal student in a classroom with perhaps a student who's high need, nonverbal, needs a lot of assistance. So we do try to group them with students who have like skills and like deficit areas, so we could work on some of the same goals with them.
Now, do the students of similar abilities, do they learn from each other as well from the teachers, or?
Oh, certainly.
You see that a lot?
Yes, we do encourage a lot of peer modeling, if you will. We have, for example, some of our older, higher functioning students may spend time in some of our younger classrooms to work with them on their goals or just activities. But we also work on socialization too across our students where we're able to.
And that's one of, I think we've heard that in the past, is that's one of the issues with autism is, the deficit in social Easter seals to other schools.
That's a tough question. Well,
Sorry.
I think we're very unique in that we have very unique students. I'm very proud of our students and I'm very proud of our staff. And we really tried to focus on community-based training. We do know that students, or individuals, I should say, with autism do tend to learn best in an authentic environment. So we do really encourage and promote community-based training. We are looking always for opportunities to interact with the typical developing peers, because again, they learn well. They learn a lot from their peers. But I just think the comprehensive services that we offer in one location with our speech and our OT, our behavior consultation, our social work, our nursing, our art, our vocational services, which is an area that we're really trying to enhance at this time, I think offering all those services in one place makes us very unique.
Now, I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago we had on our therapist, or one of the art therapists, Maya Wheeler, and I think that was cool to see, is that, in a time when arts and music and other things are being cut out of curriculums,
Right.
It's not something that's missing, in the Easter Seal School.
Maya actually she's just wonderful. She really takes time with our students. She looks for opportunities to expose our students to community events. We've had art showings at cafes, within the area. She's always trying to link our students with other programs or other activities, even with non-disabled peers. And it's really, for our students, sometimes art is a mode of expression and communication for them. So we feel as though art services are really needed and are very beneficial for our students too.
When, I think about that, and I think you had mentioned about occupational therapy, some of the other therapies you mentioned, paraprofessionals, you talked about teachers. You've got a huge staff there.
We do. We have close to approximately 100 staff, and that's including teachers, your clinical team, your paraprofessional staff, administration, trainers, kitchen staff, everyone.
It's almost a 1-to-1 ratio, between number of staff members and number of students.
Sure.
So we had a kind of a shy caller call and ask this question, but the question is it a public school or a private school? So I'm not exactly sure.
We're actually considered to be a non-public school. We're not public, we're not private. Our students come from the public sector typically, but we are considered to be a non-public facility.
Okay, great. Now, what kind of, we talked about art therapy a little bit, but what other kind of extracurricular activities, that was a hard word to say, extracurricular activities, can the students get involved with at Easter Seals Chicago School?
One of our favorites is participation in Special Olympics. We participate year-round, whether it's snowshoeing or swimming, spring games, summer games. In fact, we just got back from Illinois State University where we participated in summer games. We brought back 7 gold medals. Our athletes brought back silver medals, bronze medals, ribbons. Anything to get them out there, to get them moving, to get them interested. You look, we have power lifters, for example, that competed. Well, powerlifting is something that you'd probably have to train for a while. That can incorporate back into their school setting because we also have a weight room at our school, so they're able to practice. And the nice part about it is the students really seem to get a lot of satisfaction out of participating in Special Olympics. It's a celebration. It's exciting, and sometimes it's hard for us to find activities that excite and mean something to our kids, but Special Olympics does. So that's probably one of our biggest extracurricular activities and our favorite, if you will.
Now, someone wanted to get involved and donate, or give something back? Because I know there's been times when you've needed uniforms or you've
Yeah,
needed,
yeah.
weights or sports equipment. Can I do that?
Certainly, certainly. If you contact the school, you can contact Jason, our central office. We are very appreciative. We've gotten many things donated, as Jason said, uniforms and supplies for our students. And they really come in handy. We'll always have the kids make thank you cards or send them a nice letter or invite them to the school to come and tour the school. But on many occasions, the donations that have come in have really meant a lot, and they've come in handy. They really have.
Now, I was told a story about one of the students who you mentioned powerlifting,
Yes.
and he actually was able to travel all the way to Shanghai a couple years ago
Certainly.
with the Special Olympics. That's got to be.
That was exciting, yes. And I think he also served as a role model for some of his peers, especially the other powerlifters that are competing. He still competes with us in Special Olympics. And
How do you
yeah,
see the
he's
program
still
progressing in the future? What do you see for the future of the Chicago School?
I see us really focusing on transition and expanding our services, our programs. I think we're never going to be where we want to be. We always want to continue bettering our program and enhancing our services. But I see good things. Like I said, we have wonderful students. We have a great staff, and I think we're all kind of in it for the students. So.
One more question. Someone wants to get involved. Any recommendations? Any way they can do that, or?
Well, certainly. Please call the school. Please call our central office, and let us know what you have in mind, what you would like to do, or how you can participate, and we can certainly talk. We'd love to hear from you.
Well, thank